This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon news update for Thursday, July 30th. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. The Barbados Revenue Authority has recently been subjected to a rigorous examination by U.S. officials as they seek to verify the island's readiness to enact the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. BRA's Manager of Policy and Planning, Anthony Gittins, says the U.S. team conducted a two-day assessment in February and the authority was forced to make a number of changes. Gittins made the disclosure at a public consultation this morning to give an update on the island's readiness to implement FATCA.
Monitoring and enforcement. They look at the penalties which we impose for breaches of confidentiality and non-compliance. And they were not satisfied that the penalties and fines imposed on you and our staff were strong enough. We have addressed that area. They also inquired into unauthorized access into our database and whether or not we would have applied sanctions through prior experience from taxpayers. In terms of the infrastructure, the collection and transmission of financial information was examined. Of course, you know that we already do that in Barbados, so they examine the systems that we have in place. They look at our prior experience with dealing with the transmission of bulk data, minor and administrative errors, and areas of significant compliance. I can tell you it was a very rigorous and demanding two-day examination.
Finance Minister Chris Sinckler is expected to meet this afternoon with the National Union of Public Workers and the Barbados Workers Union over the impasse with customs officers. The officers have been on a go-slow in protest of plans to merge the Customs Department and the Barbados Revenue Authority, and there have been calls for a speedy resolution to the ongoing dispute. In light of the controversy surrounding the proposed plasma gasification project, a government minister has agreed that there could be more transparency and clarity on government solid waste management policy. Industry Minister Don Villinis was responding to questions from officials during a panel discussion at the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry's July Business Luncheon. In reference to the Cahill project, Innes says as far as he's aware, nothing has been submitted to Town and Country Planning.
The government has an overall policy in regards to waste energy and regards to solid waste management. I think we must disabuse our mind a bit of this, what we call the Cahill project, and start looking at broader issues such as waste energy and solid waste management on the whole. The Cabinet, of course, will have made a decision at a macro level regarding generating energy from waste and ensuring that there is the ability for us to protect our environment and protect our citizens by better management of the solid waste in Barbados. So there is that agreement in principle of projects, or rather several projects around that.
And Agriculture Minister Dr. David Estwick says he plans to comment on the controversial Cahill Energy project by the end of the week. Dr. Estwick says while he was not aware of all the details, he will be conducting his own research in the coming days. But he cautioned that while he understood some of the concerns being raised, there is nothing wrong with Barbados being the first Caribbean country to construct such a plan. And Dr. Estwick says the finances of the Barbados Water Authority should be back in the black within the next couple of years. Estwick says the BWA's debt had dropped from over $19 million a few years ago to between 8 to 12 million. And the plan is for the organization to eventually become profitable. And he says when this happens, BWA employees will benefit financially.
Once we get the institution settled down in regards to its revenue generating capacity, and we start to manage down the inefficiencies in regards to the institution capacity to deliver services. The profitability of that institution would bring it to a position where I strongly believe that workers should necessarily have the type of wage that they ought to get for their contribution to its development. I hold the view, and I say it here very forcefully, I do not believe that anyone should enter the Barbados Water Authority 50 years ago and still be working for the same salary. It is wrong.
Prime Minister Frondel Stewart has been meeting with locals and visitors ahead of this weekend's crop over festivities. Stewart has been hosting the visitors in his role as champion of the National Tourism Host Program.
Since we are going to be relying on a set of core values as part of the National Tourism Host Program, values like empathy and courtesy and creativity and responsibility and passion, unless our people are comfortable, they cannot manifest these attributes. People will not be able to experience these attributes amongst our people if we don't make Barbados an agreeable place for Barbadians first. And in my interaction with visitors here this evening, they have all attested to that fact, that they find Barbadians some of the most courteous people in the world, that they enjoy coming back because they bask in the warmth of our hospitality, and that what we are doing we should continue to do because Barbados is a destination of very high choice.
The medal count continues to grow for the Special Olympics Barbados team. Yesterday, Tyson Brown won the island's first gold medal in the 400 meters, and Corey Kelman captured bronze in the 200. He also won a fifth-place ribbon in the 400 meters. Other track and field honors went to Akintunde Hall, who placed 8th in the 400 meters and 6th in the 200 meters.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
CBC is bringing Crop Over your way. Enjoy the color, the sights, and the sounds of the Barbados Crop Over Festival. Simply log on to www.barbadostoday.bb and book your favorite event. For just $25 US or 51 Barbados dollars each, you can watch Soco Royale or Piccadilly Crop Finals. And for just $10 US or 21 Barbados dollars, overseas viewers can watch Grand Kadooment. Be in the festival. Log on to www.barbadostoday.bb and book now. With CBC and Barbados Today, Crop Over is only a click away.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Got it in my hand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Got to understand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Ain't nothing like a core bank spare. None of them others just can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's the world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my bank spare is never far. For this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my bank.
Police in Trinidad have launched an investigation into the leaking of a confidential document from the Office of the Special Branch. The memo warned of a possible attack on Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar's private residence by members of the Jamaat al-Muslimin group. But the group have issued a statement denying any possible attack on the Prime Minister, and they have also asked the police to verify the authenticity of the document. In international news, French officials are examining a piece of plane debris found in the Indian Ocean to determine whether it is part of the missing plane Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. It's been 16 months since the aircraft vanished, but the airline says it is too early to speculate on its origin.
Could this be the first physical piece of wreckage from the missing plane MH370? It looks like a small part of the back edge of a wing. It's damaged but largely intact. There are barnacles all over it. For the families, it's an agonizing discovery. In the southern Indian Ocean, the search for any trace of the plane beneath the waves goes on. There have been so many false leads before, but this news is being treated with cautious optimism. The Malaysian Prime Minister says the part is very likely from a Boeing 777, but he says it's too early to say whether it's from MH370. It's being taken to Toulouse for further examination by French air investigators. But is it plausible that wreckage from a plane that's believed to have gone down off the southwestern coast of Australia would be found thousands of miles away on the other side of the ocean? It's been confirmed there are markings on the piece of debris that should aid identification. This small piece of debris will now be examined in the minutest detail. Aviation investigators will want to be absolutely sure before they say whether it does belong to MH370.
And that's the news. For more news, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper and email updates and like us on Facebook. You can catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Line TV or Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Maricla Williams. Good afternoon.
Our valued partners for the BT Cropover Superstar Competition: Flow, Banks, the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., Izumi Media, and Liberty Store.